Recovering Queen. The Queen fan podcast where we talk about and play the songs we love. With Jay, Matt, and Ian.
Welcome to Recovering Queen, the Queen podcast where we take a famous or not so famous Queen song, do a cover version of the Queen song, then talk about what we've learned about the methods and the madness of the greatest band the world has ever seen. Queen. My name's Ian, and with me, as ever, are Jay and Matt. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good evening. Ian. Do you know what tonight is, don't you? It's I'll start again. It's going to be a public outrage tonight.
Really? Why, Jay?
It's an outrage. Why, Jay?
Why? Which track are we talking about?
Well, you know. What's wrong? What am I doing? I don't even know what I'm doing. It's Scandal, of course.
It's Scandal.
Freaking out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do two things at once, and I cannot do one thing at once.
What were you doing? Looking at Instagram Reels?
No, I'm not 14, Matt. No, I was obviously researching the song.
Left it a little late.
That link was indeed a scandal, Jay. The presumably intended for his solo album, May Classic, Scandal, or the whingy, whiny, moany classic Scandal, as I like to call it.
Oh, it's a little bit unfair. It is buried. I mean, it doesn't hold a very great spot as the midway through the second side of The Miracle.
No.
That's not looking like a good space to be, is it?
No, but it did get single release, so they kind of, and a video made of it.
Yes, well, absolutely. So I'm going to maybe surprise you, during
I'm going to surprise you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Scandalous.
You're going to surprise us with a load of innuendos.
I was still thinking about innuendos, that's right.
I tell you what, it's not as good as Scandalous. The Scandalous, the two of us. Doing us is not enough. A little conversation, baby. It's not as good as that
Matt,
track,
stop,
is it?
or we'll have to start paying royalties. Come on, you can only do a little excerpt.
Who was that? Mystique. That's an absolute banger of a song. And yeah, if only this was that.
Yeah,
but it's not.
So this is a Brian May track off the Miracle album called Scandal, and I kind of quite like it. I think it's very good.
Is that how you're surprised?
Really? Is this an innuendo?
Have you got confused again?
Look, this is a very direct track. I like it when Queen comment, when art imitates life. I like those sort of things, and it's very direct. See, they do it in a way that I could never do. It's like when Freddie's, his heart on his sleeve, and Brian obviously going through the divorce, and his relationship with. Is
that when it's from?
Yeah,
he's
the Anita Dobson.
Yeah, he was married
right,
to Chrissy Mullen and started seeing Anita Dobson, and then the press are prying, and it's just like, get the hell out of here. And and Queen had an awful lot of press intrusion. Well, as did anybody that's famous, I suppose, in this country. It's dreadful, isn't it? The press. So.
But someone like Brian would have suffered from it. Badly.
Yeah, he would. Yeah,
he just would. It's not the type of personality that can.
Why are they doing this to me? I don't know. Why do they hate me so much?
Well, he would have said, "For God's sake," over and over and over again.
Undoubtedly,
he definitely, yeah, he would. Yeah.
So I kind of like it. I like it when they do their direct. This is a message. This is what we're saying, and it's very clear, and I think the whole song is. I mean, it's like verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, whatever it is. It's the classic sort of. It's quite simple and straightforward, and I think this is Queen doing Queen very, very well.
On that, you've got a straightforward verse and you've got a straightforward chorus, but then there's all these other bits as well. It's like
there's a lot
of bits. Now, I'm not 100% sure on my version because I've done an interpretation on this one that I've actually included all the actual bits, but I've done a congruent song from the elements, and it has made me think this is a lot better song than I thought it was. I think there is a decent song buried in there. I just can't stand how they've done it. I really don't like that main, the main guitar riff, the Scandal guitar riff. I just can't bear the way that sounds.
Is that guitar?
The way it sounds.
Is that guitar? You mean the Dana? Is that guitar? Is that guitar or keyboard?
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, it's like a sort of harmony guitar thing.
Oh, okay.
But and I wonder if it's played through a harmonizer rather than Brian playing them note for note.
For me, there's something unpleasant about that riff, and it's like he's played it once and then sampled it or something as well. There's no heart, or
weirdly there's bits of production that hark back to Machines as well, isn't there? There's the vocoder and the bits in there, and it's like it's a bit of a melting pot of some bits of Brian production that may not really work that well, or has never sort of come across as being brilliant in terms of it has never sort of enthused the fans. It's not the things that the fans love about Queen, but Brian's sort of brought in all those things, like when he's using a harmonizer to do that we instead of playing it note for note and eking out the very best of that. I think it would work really well. I listened to this earlier today to remind myself, because it's not every day I listen to The Miracle, I have to say. And I listened to this and I actually was surprised what a great song it is.
Right.
I actually really liked it. I was thinking, hang on a second, this is actually a brilliant song. It's melody for days. There's so many great melodies in there.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, Matt. And it was a bit of a surprise for me when I listened to it recently, because I don't remember it being as good as this. And whilst I sort of see what you're saying with that refrain, it's a hell of a lot better than when he does it on Delilah. The sort of onomatopoeia sort of in the guitars.
Yes, I'll definitely give you that. But that's not the high point, is it?
But I think it does work in this instance. I actually do think it works. I think you can't keep doing the same thing in the same Brian sound every single time. And so true. I think even those bits, because it is a Scandal, it scans, and the onomatopoeia of it feels like a Scandal as he's doing it. Like I say, but better than the Delilah. But I would say even that, and I agree with you. Melody is just absolutely lovely in this track.
Beautiful vocal performance, if not slightly over the top. It doesn't. It's kind of really dramatic and not angry enough almost. Do you know what I mean? It's like Freddie, he's being very dramatic.
And
the video's even worse for it, where he's like rolling around on the floor. It's like, what are you are you doing?
I made a note about that, and it was just like, it's so incongruous to the song, and there is no one living or present or ever will be that will be able to do press-ups rolling around on the floor. Pirouetting.
It's so weird.
Yeah, and yet I can't take my eyes off him. Freddie is just, he's wonderful. I think, what is he doing? And it always works for me. It's not in time.
It's kind of too fun. It's not even in time. It's. I know exactly what you're saying, but it seems that this song has a message, and it's a very direct message. And Brian's pissed off. He's pissed off for Brian himself, and he's pissed off for Freddie, because obviously the song takes on a new meaning with Freddie as well, like the press intrusion on him, which is obviously more serious. Yet Freddie's just having a laugh with it almost, and it's like, has he missed it? Has he missed the opportunity to do something a bit more serious?
Probably.
Very little for them to do, though. I think it is literally, what is it, them on a painted stage like a newspaper and with one camera just about. It's like, it's got to be the lowest budget.
Yeah.
It would have been better just doing a live type.
Guess what? Roger didn't like it. And I'm trying to think, is there a video that Roger actually likes? But he didn't like that video. He said it was lame.
I think he's got a point there.
I think.
Yeah, but what they should have done is just got like loads of other footage that they'd done before instead. and done a little medley of all that. That would have been a scandal.
Yeah. It's
no, it doesn't quite work. You're right. It doesn't work because if Freddie, you're right. He has missed a trick because it is a serious matter, and Brian's clearly really peed off with it. And so, I think Freddie's delivery could have been a bit more close up and gritty and meaningful. I think that's on the video front. I think it's true.
You've heard the demo version on the Miracle box set, presumably, and it's got less of the vocoder, and it's mostly there, isn't it? It's even got the weird intro, that dee da 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 dee da bit in there as well, where Freddie's obviously improvising where Brian's going to put a solo, and it's so it's interesting how it's born. Apparently, the guitar solo and the vocal are the first take.
Oh, really?
That's so the vocal is first take, and the solo is first
impressive.
take. But well, it would be, but I think it's one of Brian May's most boring solos. It's competent, but it's really boring for a Brian May solo, I think. I mean, it's good.
How does it go again?
Like,
It's
it's really unmemorable because it kind of goes exactly where you think it's going to go. It's
kind of it's a play on the chorus melody for a bit, and then he goes on and does some kind of arpeggio type stuff on it. Yeah, it's very
It's a bit Route One. I mean, if it's first take, then fair enough. But it's unusual for Brian not to sort of pull out the stops a little bit on his own track. You know, it's obviously something that he's passionate about. But this song definitely is loads better than I thought. But I do think the weirdest thing is the amount of sections that keep getting added. Like you've gone through the song, and then right near the end, there's a whole new bit. But the weird thing about that bit, and I don't know if anyone else out there in the universe is with me on this one. Remember the TV program Banana Man?
Yes.
Weirdly, there's something about the harmonic structure. There's something about the melody and that is the theme from Banana Man. And it's really weird.
Matt, how does that go?
I wonder if anyone.
Banana Man.
I actually can't remember, but it's definitely in there. And every time I hear Scandal, Banana Man comes into my head. It's really weird.
Well,
sounds like an innuendo.
It does sound like an innuendo.
Yes, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I'm sure, presumably that's on YouTube, isn't it? The Banana Man theme tune for everyone, and maybe somebody can explain to it what you're hearing.
Yeah, weirdly, I have heard it quite recently because I was living at 27 Acacia Road, which is next door to Banana Man at 25 Acacia Road, according to the theme
to the
music.
Banana Man documentary.
It's good. And the street actually looks very similar to the street I was on, so it makes me think that maybe the writer was actually from Guildford.
Wow, that's quite an
I don't live there anymore,
tale.
if just in case there's recovering Queen fans
Go
on a pilgrimage to my house.
Go to Hammersmith, Kensington.
I mean, and now we've got to go to Guildford to Matt's old house that's next door to Banana Man.
Absolutely. So I was messing around with it as an interpretation. So at the end, I did something that Sam Swallow was talking about in one of his covers, the most recent cover, so I guess that All God's People, which is the parallel harmonies. So I sing Scandal and just do a descending 4-note scale, all in adjacent notes. It sounds quite nice. So that was just a little throwback to what Sam had kind of been telling us about, and it's a really nice effect. You get this very, did he call it a cluster chord? I think that's how he described it. So you'll notice that at the end of my interpretation. So if you're wondering where that came from,
but Brian does quite a lot of cluster chords on his guitar harmonies on things like Long Away. There's one, coming out of that
there
solo.
is,
they're really beautiful. Those sort of particularly when you chime them out in
which is
order,
what I did
beautiful
at the end there. you can kind of hear each individual note.
Yeah. There's a lot of Brian May tropes in this song musically, like chromatic runs and things like, chromatic builds and things, particularly in those weird bridge sections. I think it's probably that reminds me.
Well, do you know what it reminds me of, Matt?
It
reminds me a little bit in some of the melodic bits of It's Kind of Magic. Over and yeah, I can't remember which bits, but there's a similarity in melody and structure there to one. It's Kind of Magic. I'm sure of it, and that surprised me as well, because I've never really stuck to this track at all.
I mean, the chords are fairly basic. There's not a lot really going on. Kind of A minor, G, F, and then C and F largely, and a bit of B flat for the middle 8y bits. There's not a whole lot going on.
No. If someone has said this was a Roger Taylor track,
yeah,
I'd believe it.
I think so.
It's not, but particularly considering it's got the vocoder and the kind of step sequencer stuff in there.
Minus the lyrics, perhaps. You'd have to go kind of nostalgic about how papers were much better in the olden days. Or how...
or there'd be some perceived threat from the newspaper.
Did you know this track was released in America?
Oh, no, I didn't
know
that.
And did it perform
Failed
well?
to chart.
Yeah, it's that's not going to stack up.
No. So what was it? Was this the fourth single or third single off?
I think it was the fourth.
Off of the Innuendo?
Yeah.
Fourth single.
Yeah, 25 in the UK.
25.
It had the bonus of having My Life Has Been Saved as the B-side.
Did it? All right.
I believe,
Okay.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I did actually buy all the 12 inches off this album when it came out, because that was in my record.
Was that when you were
buying
spending
era.
all your inheritance on records and sweets, Matt?
That's exactly when I spent it all on Penny Mix.
I spent a lot of it on Queen 12 inches and Penny Mix, and the rest of it I just squandered.
Exactly right, Ian.
The luxury of lots of Queen B-sides from this era, which bless them for doing that.
And they were all really nice picture discs as well.
Oh, were they?
Those 12 inches. In fact, if I remember, Scandal had that kind of octopusy picture disc thing, because they all had that. Oh no, it wasn't Scandal, was it?
I thought Scandal was just kind of the headline of the kind of Scandal written in the font. I think. Oh, obviously no live performances.
Is there no live performances? Has Adam Lambert not tried it? Because they seem to sort of get a few of those, or dust off a few of those things.
Yeah, occasionally. Not that I know of. I couldn't find any evidence thereof, but I'm happy to be proved wrong.
I kind of get a feeling that Brian would be proud of this song. It feels like a Brian May where he goes, yeah, I really love that song. If only it had been the first single instead of I Want It All.
Yeah, it doesn't really compare, does it? Yeah. No, to me it reeks of a Brian May solo track. So I'm sure it must have been destined for that.
Another World.
Yep.
Or no, not Another World. What's the first one, I guess? Back to
yeah,
the
it
Light,
would be,
I
yeah.
guess.
Well, it would certainly have raised the bar on that album.
That is true. And raised it even further on Another World.
Easy. don't know what set if you
that's true. Sorry, listeners.
Yeah,
who
some
are fans
people
of
have
those
long
albums.
memories.
So we best get to the scoring on this one.
Jay, you first.
Well, I was really, really surprised when I came back to this track this week. From the beginning of the Freddie coming in that sort of transitional opening where it's rising up with the, I don't know what he's singing, dee da dee da dee da, all that coming in, just hints at something, and then into the do 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 do. I was like, oh, hang on, I don't remember it being this good. I honestly, I'm been taken aback at how much I love this track. I actually love it. I think I know it surprised me as much as anybody, or maybe Matt actually, by the sounds of it.
Well, I'm not joking. It's almost like you're speaking for me. Here, honestly, it's like you're saying the words for me. I'm just Ian. All we have to do is cut and paste.
Okay, that made the edit nice and easy.
Yeah, and it flows. It's so direct. It's so simple. It's refreshing, punchy, dynamic, and it's just wrapped up in a Route 101 sort of rock pop song. It's just classic. It's classic Queen, and I don't know why I never saw it. So, it's not 10 out of 10, obviously, but it's a bloody good, for me, it's a bloody good 9. And in 2024, that's a 9. Don't know why, but there you go.
That's a very high score.
Yeah, that is a very high score. I'm like you, Jay. I actually want to give it a 9 because it's exactly the same. Although I just can't believe that it is a 9. So I think I am going to give it an 8, but only for historical reasons and the fact that I'm not quite sure why I didn't get on with it before. I do think it's a bit of a zeitgeist thing that we're living in a sort of synth wave era at the moment, aren't we? That's sounding quite good at the moment. Whereas back in 1989 or whenever, it was grunge and this would have sounded horrible. Really, it would have sounded very dated. But now I guess it sounds quite
good
vogue,
point.
So I guess that might be one of the reasons why it's sounding good right now. So I'm going to hedge my bets and go with 8 because I can't believe that the old Matt got it so wrong. So I'm going to go between my modern day Matt and old Matt and go for 8.
Well, since covering it and deconstructing it and putting it back together in my own way, it has definitely changed my opinion of it for the better. So it's going to get maybe 1 or 2 bonus points for that. So it's a 4. I've never got along with this, and it really, really does nothing for me. But there's there's a better song in there than if I'd gone out it cold, it would probably been a 2 or something like that. It just there's really very
Ian,
little there.
Ian, that is ridiculous. That is your cover is like a 5. No, your cover's a 6.
Well, I'll take the compliment, but for me, no, it's not. I enjoyed doing it, enjoyed taking it apart, figuring out, the nuts and bolts of it. But leaves me cold. It really does.
I do like the way that you've done this cover, and it sounds like a sort of as if Elbow had done this track, and it does. I guess it kind of adds a sort of. It works better with the lyrics because it's more solemn and it's a little bit grittier,
wordy because obviously I've done it in 3-4-6-8, however you count it. So some of the lines are a little bit difficult to get all the words in. But no, I think it works, and the 2 phrase scandal works really well in the 6 or the 3. And there's a better song in there than I think Queen let us hear.
Well, I think maybe Jay and I have heard the good song in the current version, in the Miracle version for the first time ever. It seems weird, doesn't it, that both Jay and I have had almost an identical experience with that song. So I think it does deserve a revisit for those who've forgotten all about it.
I totally concur. If you'd have asked me, if we'd have done this podcast and I hadn't heard it yesterday, I would have probably guessed at a 5 or a 6 because that's that's how I used to feel about it. But I do really like your cover, Ian. I have to say, I think that just shows, again, it shows a great versatility of the songwriting of the Queen as well. And the fact that you can do something like that with it so different and it can still, to me, it still sounds really great. Loved what you did with that. So yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. It's a not a shabby song, and it's definitely not a shabby cover. I really like it. So here is Ian's interpretation de Scandal.
Turn our lives into a freak show. They'll see the heartache, they'll see the love break, they'll hear me pleading. We'll say for God's sake, over and over and over again. Scandal, there's no healing the wounds. Hey, scandal, and all the world can make us out to be fools. Here comes the bad news, open the floodgates, they'll leave us bleeding. We'll say a cheapskates, over and over and over again. Don't let them know when they stare, it's a private affair. They'll have us hung in the air and tell me what do they care. It's only a life to be twisted and broken. They'll see the heartache, they'll see our love break. Yeah, they'll hear me pleading. I'll say for God's sake, over and over and over and over again. Scandal, yes, you're breaking my heart again. Scandal, yes, you're loving on out again. Today the headline, tomorrow hard times, and no one ever really knows the truth from the lies. And in the end, a story deeper must hide, deeper and deeper and deeper inside. Yes, you're